some former leaders also came to me. And my own system is that if you come and you say A, B, C, the one that I cannot answer immediately, I will get the answer, and within 24 hours, I will communicate with you. That when you go to a leader and you say A, B, C, D, and one of them said, please give me the note on which you wrote it, which I did. And what I heard later on was that he showed somebody. He said, you see, look at the note he wrote. But I ignored it. Or, let me give you another one. Before an election, may his soul rest in peace, Ahmed Jordan, a good friend of mine, came to me and said, look, let us do something. I said, what do you want to do, Ahmed? He said, for security, defense and security, let's do something. I said, good idea. Since it's your idea, form a committee. They form a committee. The committee was working. And then another of within the what I call Prudential Library setup. Yes, sir. Another one of our colleagues said, when you do defense and security, economy inco? Oh, I said, well, since economy is your own idea, you deal with economy. Another one came and said, you do defense and security, you do economy. What of education, which is very important? I said, since you are the one who brought this, and we spend money. And then fourth one was somebody coming and said, health. And the person we picked for health was a Nigerian, distinguished Nigerian in the US. He came 4 times, spending his own money, his own personal money, and we produced report, 4 reports. And Ahmed Jordan became the man who will be the chairman of transition. Oh, we said, it is good, wonderful. Ahmed, where are the reports? The 4 of them, the 4 chairmen, went. They delivered the report. The man to whom they delivered the report never read one of them. Never read one of them. Again, I came to hear later that Obasanjo, to influence me, wrote report. I just passed the report to. So, what do you say to that? I influence you. Influence you to do what? Do what? And one on the health one of the members of that committee for health is being honorary, so to say, advisor to Minister of Health today. And he said to me, it is that report is using. Wow. Now, so when you have a situation like that, is it necessary for you to continue to waste your time? But then it must be on record for posterity.
That's the essence.
For posterity. Okay. And maybe somebody will make use of it tomorrow.
Okay, sir.
But I've written open letters to people.
Yes, sir.
Take Mrs. Thatcher
Mm.
on South Africa.
Africa, yeah.
She was very adamant that what is necessary, what is needed, is not the uprooting of apartheid policy, but just give a bit of change. And I said,
No.
apartheid cannot be reformed. Apartheid must be uprooted. And then I have to put that in an open letter. So what crime have I committed?
Okay, Your Excellency.
So, whether the letter is open
or closed
or not open, what I believe is that I will be punished by God if I know what I believe is right and I did not put it where it should be put. Public domain, if private domain, if it will work out on the private domain.
The most important thing is it's inside a domain.
It has to be.
It has a domain. Your Excellency, your recent letter to Nigerians, towards the elections, endorsed a particular candidate.
No, I don't like the word endorse. That's what.
Yes, I'm coming, sir.
Yeah,
I'm coming,
come.
Based on the school of thoughts and assessment and the reports out there, I'm going somewhere, Your Excellency.
And let me know where you are going.
That letter amounted to an endorsement. I'm coming, sir. And in essence, a particular phrase or a particular sentence of that letter I want to quote. That the candidate has people who can pull his ears if and when necessary. End of quote. Linking that to the reaction of others that may have also visited you, Your Excellency. The question now is, when those visitations happened, was your support requested? Did they also request your endorsement?
What do you think anybody will come to me for if he wants to contest the election? Or just to come and greet me?
So when they come,
no. I'm asking you the question.
They are seeking for something. Yeah. Thank you so much for that, Your Excellency. You are because okay.
Yeah. Let me deal with that.
Yes, sir.
And the question, the word I use is that one particular candidate has an edge.
Yes.
Has an edge. Taking everything together. And I take character. I take track record. I take vision. And I take, what you see in this man as a man who is walk with God, as a child of God. And I said they all claim to be my mentee. And of course I won't deny that. But if they are my mentee, and then they must also admit that I know them a little bit. And if I then know them a little bit, I must be right to be able to say, look, I don't know what people. I've done this in the past. for President Buhari, I said President Buhari does not really understand economy. And that is true, and you have seen it. I wasn't running him down. That's what he is. He himself will admit that. I said his understanding of foreign affairs is also very little. Because when he was military head of state, he said his front line does not go beyond the borders of Nigeria. That's a pity. And of course, we managed to let him understand that his front line goes beyond the borders of Nigeria. But so what then do you have? I write a letter that is almost 6.5 pages, whichever way you take it. And then only one sentence. Now, and I have one thing that I have found very interesting is, and I've said that several times, is the preacher now who goes round and in his among his congregation, he said, "Look, I take it that all of you have decided who you will vote for. I don't want to know who you will vote for, but those who have decided who you will vote for, put up your hands." A lot of them in the congregation put up their hands. And he said, "I will pray for you." And then he said, "May your children have the character of the man you will vote for." Hands started coming down. "May your children have the attribute. May your children behave like the man you will vote for." Nobody said that. Now, the question is this. Now, why should you, as a Nigerian, vote for somebody, the character, the reputation, the life of which you don't want your own children to be? It's either you are wicked, you are unpatriotic, you are really, really a bad citizen of this country. And then, if this is what you are, what do you want God to do with you? And that's the way I see that. And then I also say that, look, all these people have what they can contribute to nation building, just as you have. I believe I have. I don't have to go to Aso Villa to be able to make contribution. You don't have to. But for the last 3 days, he saw them. I have about 35 youth who have been with me. I've spoken to them on 3 occasions. And what is very, very serious with them is 1, education, 2, security, 3, corruption. They have other things, but these are the 3 most important things. So if they are youth and these are their concerns, who can address their concern?
Obviously, Your Excellency, you have the inalienable right to encourage and to point in the direction of who on who to support or that you believe is right for Nigeria as we speak. So the particular statement of pulling the ears. I mean, there are people.
Oh,
who
yeah,
can
pulling
pull
the ears. Yeah.
Yes.
You know, in my own culture, they will say, have a leader who has a lafisun. Have a leader who has a lafisun.
For the benefit of our international audience.
For the benefit of your international audience.
Yes, sir.
A lafisun is somebody to whom he can be reported to. Now, that's pulling the air. And when I was military head of state, I have 3 people who, if anything happens, I will rush to them quietly. Dr. Ebiam, Sir Kashim Ibrahim, and Chief Simeon Adebo. I will talk to them. And I give you an example. In 1977, the economy went down. In 1976, you can go and look at record. We supported over 150,000 people to go to Mecca. That is the foreign money that we have to give them. And in 1977, there's no way we could do that. So I quietly went to Sir Kashim Ibrahim. And of course, what I will do is, I won't say I'm going to Sir Kashim Ibrahim. I say I'm visiting what is the state then, either Northwest or Borno State, whatever.
Yes, sir.
But in the evening, I will call on the elder statesman. And I said, look, I have this problem. And he said, okay. Go to the Sultan. He said, don't touch it. Go to the Sultan. And I went to the Sultan. I went back to Lagos. About 2 or 3 days later, I went to the Sultan then. And Sultan said, yes, Sir Kashim has spoken to him. How many people do you want to go to Mecca? I said, no. Sultan, you don't get me right. It's not me to decide how many people will go to Mecca. It's just that, look, last year, over 150,000. This year, we cannot do it. Say, yes, I don't understand. But how many people do you want to go? I say, if I'm the one dictating how many people, that will be wrong. I said, look, yes, I know I will do my work, but how many people? I said, not more than a third of last year. I said, that you can go. That's what I want to hear from you. Then he set up a panel who will decide the conditions for going to Mecca that year. My brother, 48,000 people, 48,000, not even up to 1/3, went to Mecca. My hand no day there.
Your hand was not there.
No.
Yes, sir. Okay.
My hand was not there, but it was done. And everybody was laughing. I got what I wanted to get. Are you the instrumentality of a person who can do it? And we were, if I have said, the number of Muslims that will go to Mecca, in Nigerian situation, I, a Christian, now saying the number of people who will go to Mecca, I will set the country on fire.
Your Excellency, thank you so much for this wisdom that you have deployed again today. Thank you for the opportunity I'm going to run through some questions very briefly.
Okay.
We have 10, 15 minutes to round up this session.
Okay.
And
do it quickly because I want to work.
I will run through them and just speak, your responses from there, Your Excellency. Fritz Ando, what's your honest view why multi-party hasn't worked for Africa, multi-party system, and what system would you recommend? Why multi-party system hasn't worked for Africa? I'm not sure about that. And what system would you recommend? Professor Joy Onyeso is asking a compound question on political inclusion, gender inclusion, and conflict management for women, especially. Dr. Iwu Nauma Isent, sometime in the past, you granted an interview to Times Magazine in which you said that the elites are the problem of Nigeria. Do you still hold that view? Rashid Raji commends you a lot, and his question is on leadership ramifications. As a leader, how do you identify and align the need of the people to policy? How do you identify and align the need of the people to policies? Why welfare policies reflect minimal on majority of people in Nigeria? Baba Femi Momo says is full of commendation for you. And sir, what's your honest assessment of the current presidential aspirants? I think you've touched up on that. Yes, and their disposition to public and private. Yeah. Ishola Folonshaw is saying one way of creating employment is a stable power supply. Given the amount of capital invested in the power sector, what must be done to make the power sector stable? Virgie Onyene is interested in Baba's eye-to-eye diplomacy. That's a new phrase that is quite poignant. The observation is and worry is how do we use this as a strategic intervention tool for entrenching people-oriented policy implementation, as well as effective downstreaming of executive decisions. Abraham Adefila is saying, Your Excellency, thank you for your good executive decision while in office. What happens if Obi wins the next election and is denied victory? I mean, these are not questions I do not, and finally, from Professor Richard.
Yes, okay.
Can we invite His Excellency to address the challenges in Nigeria today?
Okay.
Thank you so much, participants, for the questions that you've shared and thrown in. I think I've tried in sharing some of these questions with His Excellency, and in his usual manner, we can see how detailed he is. He's still writing at 85 plus. Please, Your Excellency, over to you. We have 5-10 minutes.
I will deal with this quickly. I don't believe that multi-party system has failed. What if you ask me that what is one problem of a political nature in Nigeria, I would say leadership. It is more of leadership rather than the multi-party system itself. I don't believe it has failed, and I believe that the extent to which we have people who play the democratic game the way it should be played, the more we will entrench our democracy.
Thank you so much, Your Excellency. Yes.
Now, then women inclusion. You know, I was the first to bring a number of women into cabinet. And then I was also instrumental to say that women should not have to pay anything if they are contesting for any elective office. We have, and we must admit this, we have male chauvinistic society. This is the truth. Whether it's in the north or in the south, but we have male chauvinistic society. What I always say is that our women folk, you cannot get a change without making use of your men. These men are your fathers, they are your brothers, they are your husbands, they are your boyfriends, they are, now don't laugh.
Yes.
Why are you not making use of them? And I believe that we need to make use of our men folk for the changes that we need to have in our society that will be in the best interest of women. The point is this: women are, in fact, in our population a little bit more than men. A little bit more than men. Yeah. If 50% of your population are put down, then you are 50% deficit in your developmental effort.
Thank you so much, Your Excellency. Thank you so much, Your Excellency. We understand you are running for an engagement.
And running for an engagement, I will finish. Needs of the people to needs of the people match to policies. I don't see why any policy should not be based on the needs. In fact, at one time, if you remember, we have needs and seeds and all
Needs
that.
and seeds, yes,
Policy.
Yes, sir. Yes,
It should be. There's not policy should not be anything other than based on the needs of the people. What assessment of candidates have done that? Power sector. Power sector. I believe that we didn't get it right. The we should have done power the way we did communication or telecommunication. We did not do it that way. And that was a failure. Eye-to-eye diplomacy, it worked for me, and I believe
it's a recommendation for others. Thank you so much, Your Excellency.
Can I be invited to challenge, to be involved
in the
challenge of
to
Nigeria?
Address the challenges of Nigeria today.
I don't know how Joseph want to, Professor Richard Joseph want to do that, because I will not contest any position. But if like this is to talk about issues and things, and if anybody comes to me to ask for advice, I will give him the best that I can afford to give. So
we thank you. We thank you so much, Your Excellency. We thank you for our international participants and global audience. Most especially, we want to thank Africa Leadership Forum and, importantly, the Nigerian Institute for International Affairs. Professor Osa Osage, we salute you. We want to thank our distinguished panelists, the lead panelists, Emeritus Professor Richard Joseph, who had to stay up, wake up so early in the States, and Professor Joy Onyeso. We profoundly appreciate you for leading the gender. Baba is clapping for you for leading the gender initiative in Nigeria and in Africa. My final word to every single one that has participated in this session is that From now on, you are a Tell Africa champion, and we are going to be holding our former leaders accountable. Thank you so much, and have a wonderful evening.
Thank you.